All right, thanks for listening to the I Am Salt Lake podcast, episode 42. My name is Chris Hollifield. I am the host. This is my show. Welcome to it. Head on over to iamsaltlake.com. That's going to get you in touch with me. You can drop me an email. You can tell me what you think of the show. You can listen to all the previous episodes. The really, really neat thing, if you are unfamiliar with what I got going on here, you can jump in at any episode. Jump in, download it, listen to it. Find out about somebody in the Salt Lake City area that's making it really cool, making it just a little bit better to live in. It's been a really fun project, and I thank you for your continual support. Before I introduce this episode's guests, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this episode, Zag. If you are unfamiliar with Zag products, I suggest you check them out. They have iPad cases, keyboards, screen protectors, and iPhone skins. Zag, click on the link on this episode's show notes, iamsaltlake.com/episode 42. Shop with them. They kick over a few cents. That helps keep the podcast going. So anyways, this episode, I was able to sit down with 3 local Salt Lake City artists. And we sat down, we talked art, we talked about a few things coming up. We talked about AFLA, we talked about the Guthrie Gallery, we just talked about being an artist here in Salt Lake City and kind of what keeps them motivated. I'm not going to give away too much of the conversation. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to let you listen. Tell me what you think. Give me a call on the voicemail, 385-202-5926. Tell me what you think of the show. Tell me what you think of the project. I want to hear from you. I want to get some discussion going. Thank you so much for listening to the I Am Salt Lake podcast. I'm going to jump right into that conversation that I had with Trevor, Meg, and Rheanna. You guys have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Let's just kind of introduce each other really quick. I mean, we all know each other, but for people listening. Mm-hmm. Oh, people are listening. Okay, so we have Trevor.
I was told that there would be no people listening to this podcast.
Hi, my name is Trevor J. Dopp.
Excellent.
On Twitter and Instagram.
Nice plug.
I love it. And then we got Meg.
I'm Meg.
And Rheanna. And excellent. So which one of you wants to kind of share with what AFLA is all about? We'll kind of start there. Who's the most involved with artists? It's artists for local agriculture, right? Is that what?
Yes. Trevor's done some work for them too. We're just doing some fundraising stuff.
Is it
fun?
Is it a local organ? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about it. Tell me. If I was a stranger on the street, how would you tell me about it?
They're trying to live sustainably,
promoting like urban agriculture.
Okay,
converting empty spaces to like stuff you can eat.
Yeah,
and just being conscious about what you eat.
So it's more than art then. It's more than just art on paper.
No, it's artist for local agriculture.
They
have other like different bands and artists involved that help raise money, musicians.
That started it.
Yeah. But there's like a circle of farms, right, that the money goes towards.
Yeah, they do. They donate a lot of their money to local sustainable farms.
So it's outside of Utah even. It's
Santa Quinn.
Oh
yeah,
no,
it's
just
local.
Okay.
Local, yeah.
Okay, so it's local. Mm-hmm. And I mean, is there a building? Where are they located? I mean, what?
600 West. It's right next to that Club Mix. I'm not on the board. I just volunteered to help with the art side of it and have some artists do different things and have if their artists sold, the proceeds would go towards their organization. Trevor asked me on the way over how I got involved or how I found out about it, and every year I try to do something to give back to the community, whether it be like, I don't know, last year I did stuff for the homeless shelter, or I'll donate stuff or like head up something with wherever I'm working or do something to give back. I think just for the community and
something art related.
Not necessarily, but this time around this year it was that, and somebody told me about it and I just volunteered to.
And so what are you doing? Tell me what
organize. My side of it is that I'm just organizing the artists to just donate some of their stuff
for a few events that are coming.
Setting up shows where proceeds go to.
So there's a show specifically that we're doing. It's Thursday, February 21st.
Okay.
And there's going to be some bands there.
What bands are going to be there?
We don't have the full details yet. I think they're still working out that. Mike Kundick, the guy that started it, is doing the band and music side of it. We're just part of the art side of it. And then I manage the garage on Beck on the weekends, and Bob and Marcia, who own the place, are doing a fundraiser for them on the 23rd, where all the proceeds goes towards AFLA or AFLA for whatever they want to use.
So art will be at the Garage on Beck as well. And you mentioned the Metro too? Or
yes, the Metro they have a small side, it looks like a small cafe, but it's like a side bar. I called it the Corner Lot Gallery because they don't yet have a name for it. And it's just attached to the rest of the bar. So that's going to be our little nook for all the artists to post their artwork. And
are they different artists each day, or
nope? It's just one night, and we're just
no at the different places. So we've talked about 3 different locations now, right? Or
the
just
Garage,
so I'm following along.
Okay, there's 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's going to be one at the Garage and one at the Metro, and there's probably going to be some crossover with the art. But whatever sells. And
what's the one on Thursday though? The 20th? Or is that the one at Metro?
The 21st is at Metro.
Okay.
The 23rd is at the Garage on Beck. And the Garage on Beck won't have artwork there that I'm involved with. I'm just involved because I manage on the weekends. So
I'm following.
Yeah, I dropped in with Bob and Marcia to see if they would be interested in doing something for a local organization, and they were all for it. They're really good about it.
So you worked with Jeff Hacker down there then at the Metro then, or no?
Mike
Jeff,
does.
Yeah, Jeff Hacker. He's done some different fashion shows for my wife. He's a great guy. So how many artists are going to be involved with like the one at the Metro? Like, how many different artists are going to be down there, do you think?
It's kind of hard to pin down.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to pin down.
I mean, you just noticed how difficult it was getting details from us.
It turns out that some artists aren't.
But you guys,
like
all three of you guys are going to be involved.
I'd say all of us. Skylar Tupac's going to definitely put some stuff in there. He's a local dude who does some really great stuff. There should be a few other people that are.
Trent Calls, Three Whipple, the guys from the Oyster Pirates.
Oh, okay, I love
the artist Christian Michael.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
I'd love to get them. I love Trent Call. He's got some great art.
Guy.
Let's talk a little bit about your guys' art, since you guys decided to come and make your voice known and heard. I mean, how would you describe your art? What kind of mediums, or what sets your art apart? What do you?
Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah.
I've been doing art in town for a long time. I don't necessarily show a lot though, just because I just kind of don't like art shows for no particular reason. Just kind of a little bit of shut-in, I guess.
They forced her.
yeah. Mostly Rheanna sets up shows, and I have to do them with her.
It really puts a stress on our friendship, but it works.
So how long have you been doing it? How long have you been into art?
Oh, I've been doing it my whole life. I got my art degree and stuff. But I do a lot of black and white drawings mostly. I guess what I'm known for is doing really explicit women drawings of women, and I replace their heads for a hand. So that's mostly what I do, and I like to do them on wood, but I'll do them on just paper too. But lately I've been doing paper mache.
And what intrigues you about doing it on wood? I mean, that's.
I just liked the texture of the wood, sort of representing the texture of a body.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and it kind of mirrored the natural texture, not necessarily of skin, but I think it was a nice, because it does have, it's very it has a texture, and it's very touchy feely, the wood stuff. There's a really beautiful word for that I can't remember. But it kind of reminded me of skin, and that's, I don't know, that's why I used it.
So
it's the whole food.
Yeah.
I mean, well, some of your art will be for sale at these events, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Yep,
just so I'm on the same page. I'm a little bit of a newbie in the art world, so you guys got to educate me a little bit.
And you have 3 of the weirdest artist outcasts.
We're having really good conversation.
How long have you? I know. I mean, I think that could have been the podcast, and you guys could have all gone sincere. Home for.
But the thing about artists is that we make art because generally you have a shortcoming elsewhere socially that you need to compensate for.
Yeah.
I mean, Picasso was really tiny, but still slayed major babes. And they bought him islands and stuff, and he got to make all the art he wanted.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. You make art and hope that someday you don't have to give all your money and free time to making art. You hope that someday people will if you want to make a sculpture in bronze, perhaps you could.
So what about you, Trevor? Did you go to school for art then?
I did. I mean, there was a lot of years ago where I went to school on an art scholarship. Okay. I was studying graphic design and then had like moral issues with it. I just thought that
you had moral issues with going to school.
Well, no, with graphic design at first. Okay. Eventually, it became about school. But no, like, so I was at school. I went to school on a full ride scholarship.
Where'd you go to school at?
Well, I started at University of Wyoming. Uh-huh. And I thought snowboarding was cooler, so I chased that thing here and found out that I could still have a full ride scholarship as an exchange student at the U. Then I just decided to stay here, and I didn't want to retake all my studio classes. I'd switched to painting, and because that was like more ethical, I thought, because like paintings just don't generally sell. But graphic design's all about selling a product because the product doesn't sell itself.
Yeah, no, right.
Like what kind of graphic design?
Design's really beautiful, like aesthetically. But 90% of people who become graphic designers end up doing like layout for real estate companies.
Is that what you want to do?
No,
absolutely not. Okay. And so I moved here, and my brother was in the film department, and they would accept all of my studio classes as allied hours. And so I said, well, that sounds cool. I'll make movies with my little brother. And if I take 2 Spanish classes, I'll have a bachelor's degree. And I love Spanish, but I know everything that they taught me and don't really want to like have a job that a college degree matters. My parents think I'm crazy, and I have a cat that I love.
we all have. But
my art is, because of the choices I made, I wake up every day and I make the art I want to make. And it's like before we pressed record, I was saying that's why I vouch for the internet, because that gives me a voice.
It gives you a voice.
I didn't have to jump through the hoops to have a career as an artist, and someday I might. I mean, my rent's extremely cheap. Yeah. I live a very like pretty low key lifestyle, but I don't have to work for somebody else that often.
Would you like to make art a full-time career then, or is
I mean,
it? Or is
in
it?
my head,
I mean, it is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I have other jobs.
Yeah,
but that's just because sometimes, you know, the art market's weird in the wintertime.
Yeah.
No, but through that, I wanted to be a painter. You know, I was reading the biographies of painters, and they have cool lives. They can do what they want when they want. But then I met some printmakers, and I ended up at Copper Palette Press and realized that that's a way for you to, like, if you spend 20 hours on a drawing, you can't just give it to Meg or Rheanna, you know, or you for that matter. With printmaking, it's like if you're excited about something, you can share it with your friends and it's not going to break you.
So you do some stuff with the Copper Palette Press?
Yeah, I've been an official member there for 2 years, and it's pretty cool. My friend Tyler and I had a show called TJD2. They didn't know us really, and they just said, hey, come make some, we'll teach you how to print.
Print like T-shirts or print anything?
No, it was like a show of prints. And
like
so we went in over a few days and made a few editions of some of our drawings pretty much. And we all got along, and so they offered to teach us, and now I'd say Tyler and I are both real printers. And printmakers hating out there, just simmer, but... I'm on my way. I know a lot about printing, and I supplement my income printing at times.
Yeah.
And like Brian Taylor there, and Cameron Bentley and John Andrews, those guys are like, they have something very cool going on, and they're the same kind of people who didn't want to have to do it for somebody else. They just decided to do it themselves. And I won't say DIY.
Why won't you say DIY?
Because is there a Yeah song about that?
Oh man. What about you, Rheanna? Did you go to school for art then, or no? Or are you self-taught?
I've never gone to art school. I'll never go to art school. I went to school for environmental sciences, actually, and never finished. But I don't do anything that's really that technical.
I mean, not true.
My medium's pretty much like Sharpies and pencils sometimes, but mostly Sharpies and.
But you express yourself through your art.
Oh, yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
then I mean that's all that matters.
Yeah, totally. I'm just not, trained in different mediums, I guess. That this year I think is going to be like more of me focusing on trying painting and trying different things that are outside of my comfort zone that I don't think I'm that good at.
That really has nothing to do with school. No. That's all that we're doing too. We're just like,
but don't you think?
But I mean, you have more access to it. You know what I mean? You meet other people that have access to it. I don't.
But it's totally possible outside of that. Like I've got a print education from people who paid for a print education for a fraction of the price. You've got as
great of a print education as I've gotten, and I paid for
good
mine.
At printing.
Yeah.
Do you think that art school though might, like, some people can actually probably succeed more without going to art school?
Well, but some people people are fit for art school. Like,
I think
there's a lot of different.
I think it's totally personality. I think that you can go to art school, you can jump through all the hoops and all that stuff, and you can still end up, a checker at Whole Foods, you know, or you can, vice versa, never go to school and, be a really, really, popular and, or a popular artist out there, that's really having a dialogue with the other artists. I think all art really has to do with, I think it has to do with having a good business head and being really great at marketing yourself.
And getting up and making art every day.
Yeah.
Well, because the reason I say, like, with art school, I mean, we were talking, I think it was before you got here, Meg, how I took a photography class. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not the best photographer, but I think I take good pictures, and my teacher didn't think so, though. And I thought, well, at the end of the day, it's all up to interpretation.
Well, it's relevant,
Well, and also you're
and so
did
for
you
him,
see your teacher's photos? Did he ever show you his
Oh
photos?
yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is I'm more into, like,
we're talking
I'm
about
more
Salt Lake community, right?
No, again,
Oh wait, who was it? Was it Jimmy Stoddard?
No.
Tell me it was Jimmy Stoddard. I love you, Jimmy. I love you, Jimmy.
No, it was.
I love you, Jimmy.
It was an older guy.
Never lets people use
and that was the thing is and I'm really into, like, city photography, and he was like, get out and take pictures of the mountains and.
But that's what they do. That's what teachers do.
Well, that's
they
the
tell you.
With the art education
well, they just tell you
so
to do
subjective.
whatever you're. Well, that's how they teach you. This is what I learned in art school. If you want to go to art school, whatever you're doing, do the opposite of that. That's all they do. They just tell you, if you're taking pictures of the city, they'll tell you to go take pictures of flowers. If you're taking pictures of flowers, they'll say, go into the city. It's a trick. It's a trick.
Well, and see, and I wasn't going for a degree.
You're never gonna make it.
But but also it is nice to have access to all the equipment. It's like equipment and then someone arguing with you all day.
But that's life sometimes.
Yeah, no, it is. Minus the equipment.
I had to work with guys who used, like, forklifts and lots of equipment all day.
Yeah.
That's what I drive a forklift all day at my job. I hate it.
I love blue collar stuff, though.
I hate it, but it pays the bills.
Yeah,
see,
right?
And if you're an artist on the side, you don't have to tell people that you have something else that pays the bills. Because every third Friday, you are, like, bigger than the Beatles on your block.
Especially if you're the Guthrie.
That's what's up.
Okay, yeah, you brought up the Guthrie. We haven't talked about the Guthrie building. Do you want to let's talk about the Guthrie building for a little bit. There's a lot of artists that have spots there or spaces, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think there's about 30, I think is what I was told from what Christian and I talked about. The Guthrie's built in 1887. It's one of the oldest buildings in downtown Salt Lake.
And where's it located?
The exact address.
It's
that organized.
It's second and
150
second.
East, 200 South.
Okay. And that's where the show is going to be on the 22nd.
Yes.
Or is there one every Friday? Or
it's on the 15th. It's the third
15th.
Friday of every month.
Okay. So the 15th, it's a Friday.
Yep.
Go there. What time? Like, is there times? Or
From 6 to 9 usually.
6 to 9. So if you're listening.
And that's downtown pretty much every third Friday.
It's gallery stroll.
Yeah.
7 to 10 if you care about, like, being seen or something.
I'm like 7 to 8:30ish, depending on
I'm usually
how
there at 5, like, sweating it.
So anyways, you were saying it's the oldest building downtown.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest buildings
One of the
downtown.
oldest.
And Trevor was telling you it was what?
Yeah, I mean, it used to be,
at one point,
and then just like a short-term hotel. It's for 35 years. It's been in art studios now. There's a painter, Randall Lake, who is like one of Utah's most 50 influential people ever.
Yeah.
On the records, he has paintings hanging And, John Huntsman bought paintings from him for the embassy in China when he was playing that game. There's a good story about that, actually. But
Well, let's hear it.
Well, I'm an advocate. I'm like a buffalo soldier, kind of.
Okay.
And you could say that I'm self-medicate with things that are of the earth.
Okay.
And did you know that they hire Secret Service dudes to even pick up paintings if they're being shipped to embassies? Real shit.
I love you, Trevor. I love you more and more as this goes on.
No, this is
No, real shit. I had just like said my daily prayers, and two like really muscly dudes who should have been movers but were wearing suits and ties like knocked on my door, and they're like, "Are you Randall Lake?" And I said, "No, man, he's upstairs." And then I realized who it was, because he'd mentioned that government people might be coming to get a painting. It's a really beautiful painting. It's like a porcelain pot.
And this happened to a friend of yours.
Yeah, this happened to someone.
Residents.
How do you say it on the internet? Someone I know.
I think that's how you.
Friend of a friend.
No, somebody you know on Facebook.
No, it happened to me. I mean, I'm pretty big on like, I'm sick of people not taking responsibility for who they are, and so I'll admit that.
That was you.
Yeah, that was me. Of course, that was me. But it was weird still.
So they came in.
They were cool about it, though. I mean, it's not if you're a government guy picking up a painting, you're worried about losing your job for like losing the painting, not for some kid they've never heard of smoking pot in his art studio.
Yeah.
With an awesome hat.
So
shout out.
Yeah, maybe we should tell the folks at home he's got a High Times hat on and a bush in his hand.
I think we need
do shit classy around here.
We need to take
Always.
a picture of that and put it on the website. I think you're fishing
I'm gonna have
high
to eat my
time.
words about being a buffalo soldier. I'm hungry.
Gigs up.
Hungry.
So that's excellent. So all three of you guys are at the Guthrie. Or no, you're not.
No.
Randall still is though, and he
is.
Randall. Some of Randall's patrons, they were going to like, something was going on with the building, and Randall said, "Hey, you guys should buy this building and let's make upstairs art studios, and there'll be retail spaces downstairs." And so Guthrie Bicycles was there for a really long time.
Okay, so it's where Guthrie Bicycles was.
And
Okay,
that's
that makes
the
sense.
Guthrie building.
Okay, now.
And when they closed, Estee moved in.
Okay.
And then this boutique Feist moved in.
Yeah. No, now okay. I think now everybody knows exactly where they need to go. That's listening.
That's the 22
It'll
block.
take us like a
It's
half an
second
hour.
Oh, okay, you're talking about that place. Yes.
No, but
Yeah, well,
we
RX,
already said
okay.
we could edit it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Slice it.
So
I was kind of nervous and drank that fast, so if we're editing, could I use the restroom really quickly?
if you need to use a restroom, it's just right through the right. Take a left at that first door right there. So if people aren't able to make it for gallery stroll or on this, can people go to the Guthrie anytime to look at art or what?
No, usually it's locked up.
Usually
because
it's
it's they're private studios.
Yeah. Okay.
So the best time to go up and check it out is either befriend one of the 30 people that are there, which isn't difficult. They're all real nice. Or just go during gallery stroll. I think almost every gallery stroll they try to have open studios.
Okay.
And they try to have a guest artist hang there. And then sometimes it depends on the artist, but sometimes they'll also have open studios, so you can go in and see all the studios. It's kind of like a big art honeycomb. It's like was two stories just filled with rooms of artists. It's really neat building, and the building itself is absolutely gorgeous. So it's
I think I'm gonna have to.
And it's very bohemian. It's not like, I don't know. And I hear gallery, I always figure like it's people walking around with like wine glasses or something. It's very
down
bohemian
and dirty. People, it's a working space. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a showing space.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, we're lucky if there's toilet paper.
Yeah. In a good way.
And toilet paper for the bathrooms.
Yeah. Or toilet paper after to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to have some fun.
And Trevor's back, and he missed the whole show. I mean, that was you missed the best.
Good. Well, you can
best.
take my Xbox.
So, as an artist,
Yeah.
okay, what's the most challenging thing, do you think, of being an artist?
Having to sell your art to people, like having to be there being like, hey, you should buy my art, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely I mean, I don't even like shows. I don't even like to have
Some
shows,
people are
so.
good at it. I mean,
It's like Sri Whipple can sell the paint off of a truck, but he's sort of a
if
anomaly
I
among
painted
artists.
like Sri Whipple, I could probably
I know,
sell my
right?
paintings.
Trent's also a genius at marketing himself and selling his art, and those two can hustle, and it's inspiring to watch.
That's what it is, though. It's a hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like weird because you have to disconnect yourself from this really sensitive person who is trying to be sincere making art, and then like turn around and hustle it.
It's why artists have managers.
Or complexes.
Yeah.
So do you guys don't have managers, do you?
No.
No. But you're talking like big time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if people
Like
ever
dealers,
really were
yeah.
trying to every day hitting me up, being like, "How much do you want for this? How much?" I wouldn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Having to give value to something that you kind of put part of yourself into.
Yeah.
Granted, there's all types of art. I mean, you don't always have to put yourself into art, but I'm trying. I think there's like a difference. It speaks differently to you. Like when you see something on the wall, the level of sincerity, even if it's like sincerely tongue in cheek or something.
You're talking about the art.
The art itself.
The art itself.
Artists are.
Before you left, Rheanna, we meant the most challenging. What do you think the most challenging thing of being an artist? Or were you hoping to sneak away for that question?
Yeah, damn it. They've been doing it much longer than I have, but I think for me, I guess lately would just be just trying to push yourself and like stay focused on what you're doing. I think a lot of times, I don't know, for me, what I'm going through right now is just I want to do everything. I think once you like bite into it and you just kind of start doing stuff and you start putting yourself out there, for me anyway, it's you don't want to stop. It becomes like this really weird, like cleansing kind of thing that you go through. And then I just start wanting to do everything. And then I get overwhelmed, like I'll sit down and I'm doing like 3 different things right now. And, I just have to like stay focused on what I want to do and complete one project. I guess like not have ADD about what you're doing. That's what I struggle with anyway. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
Overcommitment too is hard because every idea is really exciting. And of course artists are ideas people, and so it's really easy to be like, yeah, that sounds awesome, and then look at your calendar and you have like 10 things that you should have managed your time better or something.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's good. I mean, if I could just like hang out at my mom's house and draw in my sketchbook all the time, that's a pretty fulfilling life.
Totally.
Yeah.
But having to be accountable for like what you say you're going to do is really cool, and showing your art sort of. That's how you get into that as like a sensitive thinking person.
So on that same note, I mean, what would you say the most rewarding thing, or the thing you like the most about creating art?
I like because I think a lot, and so usually everything I do has some meaning behind it, and I don't like to like tell the viewer what to think. I like to tap into this thing that's like something I might have thought about it, but if it affects them, it's usually because of something that happened to them. It reminds them of something that happened to them, and if they're challenged to like think about that or move on from it or not, like that's success for me. And I like it when kids like my artwork too for the same reason, because they're not like carrying this backpack full of people who told you that you weren't good enough or something.
Right. Kids
see the world in such an amazing way.
Yeah, I think all artists love to see people enjoy their art. I mean, social praise is fucking awesome.
Or even like be upset about it, because that means you got to them on a personal level.
Absolutely.
Anything that I think evokes some sort of emotion. I mean, like Meg and I did an art show, and it was pretty amazing because just to see other artists, this was the first art show that I ever did, and at Guthrie, and just to see the artist reaction. They had these same people who had known me for a long time and never knew that I did anything, and to see their reaction, and that positive or negative or what have you, just see somebody else's like emotion, that was really cool. And I like talked about the Super Bowl earlier. I'm a little bit of a jock, and I
That's totally not true, really, but like
Recently.
but you know, there's also, for me personally, there's two things that I kind of like that maybe they're kind of more down and dirty about art. I love the process. I think I get the most enjoyment out of making the thing, like every bit of it. I love the process. That's why I was a printer, is because it's like 99% process and 1% show, you know. But then I've got this huge competitive piece in me, and I think part of that comes from being a female, part of it comes from being a creator, part of it just comes from having an ego and being good at something. But I like doing stuff that is really fucking good and seeing people around me kind of get blown away by it. I love that feeling, and that's really the thing about having art shows that I like. Other than that, just kind of showing my peers that, you know, I'm good and I'm someone to contend with. Like, that's, I would rather do that than sell, for me.
Have you ever had anybody just stand there and like talk shit on one of your pieces of art and
Oh,
not know
hell
that
yeah.
it was you that did
Hell
it,
yeah.
and you're just like, oh, wait a minute.
But the thing about it is they did it because they were uncomfortable. It wasn't because of my talent, because I know it was good, but it was, you know, because there's a vagina being spread in their face and they don't know how to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, but I like that. I don't know.
So I take it you draw a lot of vaginas being spread in people's faces.
You like to refer that as erotic art.
Yeah, I have, definitely. Yeah, I haven't lately. Like I said, I've been making paper mache birds lately.
Well, there's a big wide range of.
Yeah, but yeah. There's anyone who knows my art knows that I do some vaginas and some dick hands and some
dick hands.
Yeah, but what you said about process, like everything you do, you like the process breathes in it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that moved me the most about, like, when I saw Meg's art the first time.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I mean, it was pretty graphic, but what I looked at was like, you could see her hand in it.
Really?
I mean, literally, because sometimes it is her hand, but you could see the hand of the artist, and she's not afraid to leave an eraser mark or like rework a line and let it be seen that way. To me, that's real, that's raw, that captures some emotion that, like, it's weird. I mean, for me, that's how I came up. That's what I loved. And printing is sort of like, it's nice to have both, because the thing about printing that moves me is like when something's so clean and perfect and there's 50 of the same thing.
Yeah. It's the sexiest thing. It's the weirdest thing, just to have these perfect copies of each other, and screen printing.
It still looks handmade.
Yeah,
though.
it does.
Weird.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. It's totally visceral, and it's gritty in a way. And even when there are some slight mistakes, it makes it look kind of more awesome and stuff. But there's something amazing about having a stack of the same image, but still, have it feel handmade.
But it's exactly the same thing as seeing one drawing that obviously intent's been poured over enough that you can see it. You can see it visually.
It's that process. It may only be 3 layers, but those 3 layers kind of kicked your ass, you know? It's
process
awesome.
maybe is what it is. It's
So when you guys are creating art, I mean, do you like music? Do you like silence? What's the environment?
I like TV and music usually. I like as many. I think we all have severe ADD, so we have to bombard. Like, if there's not drugs involved, then there's got to be like TV and a radio.
2 TV programs.
My cat knocking crap off.
There's always some sort of whiskey involved. And
I've been listening to Coast AM a lot lately. George Norrie
I
has
actually
a
have a
voice
favorite
that just sends
podcast
me
that I
into,
listen
like,
to.
What's your favorite podcast?
Like, yeah, dude.
That's the name of it? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
Shout out. Yeah, dude.
I'll have to check it out.
I listen to the same song on repeat, literally for like hours. And in fact, I got cornered by my downstairs neighbor, who I thought could never hear that shit because the walls are thick. I never hear anything.
He's down there laying in bed.
And
like,
literally,
There's no
I
privacy
pulled
in the
up.
It's false privacy.
And he's like, so about that new horror song you keep playing, or like Talking Heads. I mean, the same song over and over again. And I don't know. I totally bullshitted him and just said, I listened to the same song because I read somewhere that like it becomes like almost like chanting. You get in this like zone,
trance.
which was
It's
such
a
bullshit.
trance.
But I felt
I am
like,
mentally ill.
but
I
I
don't think
didn't want
it's
anyone to
bullshit.
think I was mentally ill.
I don't think it's bullshit.
No, I don't know.
Because the second you forget what you're listening to and it just becomes this thing in the background driving you,
Yeah, and
then
it's
you're like, then you are there. You're in that
and it's
moment.
hard to find like an album or more than one song that
Yeah.
motivates you that much.
Like
do
I
the same
can't.
thing.
Yeah, I can't listen to an album. I guess no, I take that back. There's like a few that I can listen to on repeat, but for me, like I have to listen to the same. There has to be some sort of repetition. I think
Yeah.
for me.
No, I watch
sort of,
or
like,
listen
ritualistic-
to the
Albums that are
same-
too dynamic, moving
Yeah.
up and down, jolt me out of the place I have to
Yeah,
be
but
to
I think
make
it's
art.
I think it's also like a ritualistic thing. Like I know
Absolutely.
when Meg and I get together, we drink whiskey and it's our ritual. Like we
Yeah.
get together, we do like the same thing. It's usually in two houses, my house or your house, and
Yeah.
I think that
And
like,
we listen to the Black Keys usually. It's the
Yeah.
Black Keys that we put on over and over in like the most annoying, awesome way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
I watch The Wire over and over again. That's one of my go-tos.
Shout out to The Wire.
Pound.
I usually get a couple tall boys from Cher's Deli. Shout out
Shout
to
out
Cho.
Chairs.
And she didn't even have to sponsor the podcast.
Well, no, he.
Or he.
Cho bought shares.
Oh,
and
Cho
now
bought
it's this guy
Sure.
who runs it. And he makes
It's awesome.
the best kimchi soup
Everyone go
every
there.
Friday.
Yeah. Really,
But
they're
it's super local.
their
a block
American
from my
food isn't
studio,
great. Their
so-
Korean food is amazing.
And my ID expired on my birthday, and he knows me, so I don't have to go to the DMV, which is really nice.
So, as an artist, I mean, why would you want to have a studio versus just painting a corner of your bedroom?
Well, his bedroom is his studio.
Okay, okay.
That's not true. Nobody lives at Guthrie.
Oh.
Okay,
Well,
I
that
mean,
is-
what?
oh, that is
I mean, I
just there
I
from-
apologize if
that
that's
part.
if that's a dumb question. But
Well,
what
no,
would
for me,
be-
it's like
why would you want to spend that money?
ideal situation because I don't have the distractions of my room.
I got you. So you
You
can go
know-
there and work.
Like in an ideal place, I have a room and a studio, and sometimes it's the same thing, but rarely.
Yeah.
And when it's just a studio, I like to strip it down and it's only the body of work I'm working on, and I have a shelf of references and materials.
Yeah.
And because then when you go there, you know you're going there to make art. And you're going there to like make a cohesive body of artwork, which to go from just having a sketchbook at your mom's house, which is awesome, to like telling someone you're going to have a show and then having to explain to people why it's a show.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's important. I want to look at a wall, and there has to be a narrative between everything, because it's a body of work if it was made in a frame of, like, if you're dealing with thoughts or like whatever's on your mind, that should be that. Or if it's a concept, it should all embody that concept. And so to have a studio is like the most efficient way I've found to actually pull that off.
To be able to stay focused and,
Yeah.
and go in and
It definitely helps to have a workspace, I think.
I'd just watch The Wire if it was my bedroom, or like
That's
you
my
know,
problem. Damn it.
I don't know. I stayed at Captain like for a hot minute in your studio, and for me, I guess for me, I couldn't ever be in a studio because I feel overwhelmed by what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
that was like that
so
for
good.
at Captain for me too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's-
ideas I could exchange were great, and
Yeah.
the things I could learn from artists more talented than myself, that's amazing. But I went back to Guthrie because it's my own space. It's 165 square feet that I can deadbolt the door if I have to.
Yeah.
And if I turn my music up loud enough, that's my universe and nobody else exists.
And I used to be at Captain. I used to have a great time there, and I used to get a lot of stuff done. But then having a studio at Captain and then having an apartment made me realize I could buy a house. So I did that instead. I moved out of both and bought a house. So now I have space in my house for a studio, and
And you keep it
which
separate,
is beautiful.
well, I do. But then, well, I did. I have a studio space downstairs, but then I just end up moving all my crap up into the living room so I can watch The Wire.
right? Shout out to The Wire.
shout out to, that's one show I still haven't watched yet. I
You
need to
have to. Well, it's just not to go off on a tangent, but it is the best. The
It
best
really
written
is
show.
the
Yeah.
best program ever.
Best character arc.
Are they still coming out with new shows?
No,
for
it's done. So you can
Okay.
you can just take like
all
4
in a
days off
row.
work and just watch it. Like don't
Pray
sleep.
for snow.
Yeah.
Pray for snow. I'm ready for summer. I'm ready for summer. Hey, so what advice would you give to like somebody, an aspiring artist, somebody who's getting?
Just do it. Just figure out what you want to do, like to do, not even what you're good at, and just do it every day. Artists are good because they practice. They don't necessarily even have, talent, really. It's just practice and doing it over and over and over and over again. I'm great at drawing hands, but the only reason why I'm good at drawing hands is because I couldn't draw hands.
Yeah.
So I drew them every day for a couple of years, and now I can draw a hand.
Well, it's weird because it's like its fundamentals are it's technical. It can be taught, and you repeat that, and you'll get better and better about it. And then you come to this place where you're confident with that. And then you want to say something, but it's still kind of weird. And then you find your voice, and that's like you can speak through these skills you've learned. For me, I respect artists who are technically good and thoughtful and hardworking. But I also respect like homies who will just show up and be like, I drew this on a bar napkin, and there will be something about it that speaks to you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it might not be perfect draftsmanship, but something else spills out of it, like if you can see their personality or that they were genuinely thinking about something or trying to make a joke about something or
I don't know, I think too, like for newer artists, I know like this is newer for me, and especially like putting it out there in the public view. I think you just have to be really brave and probably really thick-skinned if that's what you want to do. You have to just kind of.
Was it hard for you the first time you displayed your art?
I did it with my best friend because I felt like I wouldn't ever be able to do that because it's not important to me to be like locally known. It was like more important for her opinion, to appreciate what I was doing. And when we did an art show together, I think that was like, it will always be my proudest moment because that person that I care most about was like super stoked on what I was doing.
Yeah, it was one of the funnest art shows I've ever done, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would say just have like a thick skin about it and don't just be brave about what you're doing. Someone's always gonna hate it or someone's always gonna like it. I mean,
and don't think about that too much. Like, do you? Yeah,
just be comfortable in what you want to do. I mean, I do Sharpies. Like, to some people, that's not super rad, but I love it. Like, that's my thing, and I like comic books and weird shit like that, and that's where I draw my resources from. I would say find what you really, really like Meg was saying, and just kind of like go with it and, just figure it out for yourself. Don't have somebody tell you to do something a certain way just because they feel it's necessary, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
It's weird, though, because for some people, like, that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want to, like, be awesome to people who don't know them or something, and
be
for me
famous
it's like,
or something.
Or even just like, I mean, whatever, they want somebody to
like weird
give them attention
notoriety
because they're an artist. For me, it's like part therapy and part anxiety when I have to talk to strangers about my art, and then part of it. And it's weird to say like I want to try to do this full time, but then also talk shit about having to show it to people because drawing in your sketchbook at your mom's is awesome.
Making that a bumper sticker.
It's true.
That will have to be the title of this podcast.
Yeah.
Drawing.
Well, it's like so many people have a studio and are soliciting having shows every month, but then they're like, I just do it for the love.
Yeah.
Then you don't love your mother.
After drawing a piece of art, have you ever just wanted to live inside of it? Is that too deep?
No, I mean, not really, but I have, like, I guess I have made a piece of art and looked at it and been like, I made that.
Well, I think...
And then you put it by your bed, and then you wake up, and you're like, I made that.
I think the thing is that it's living inside us, so we don't need to live inside of it, I would not want to live inside of it.
But talking a little bit more about that by your bed, I mean, have you ever just seen a piece of art and been blown away that you created it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're just like, I didn't draw that, or you have to almost convince yourself that you did.
It's
not
more
so
like,
much
I
like
did
that,
that,
but like
yeah.
the pride, like
Yeah.
almost like a kid or something, like the pride of creation, like
I
in awe that whatever you did to make that, it's now resonating and speaking to you, and sometimes to other people too.
yeah.
And that's awesome.
That's a nice way, the resonating, like, because my work, even my drawings, it's so processy, and I go through such a crazy, weird OCD drawing process. But yeah, there's a weird, like, when it's all finished, there's like vibration coming off of it.
Yeah. And then when you can breathe again because it's breathing.
Yeah.
Like that's...
I guess in my more simplistic idea, I guess like it's, I don't know. I think of it like having like a memory box. Like I have this memory box of all this shit in storage that has like years and years of crap that I've just, movies tickets or whatever. Like, I think it's more like the moment and the sentimental fact of like, I did this at this moment and it has this sort of memory. It's like a smell or a song or something you remember that just touches this chord in you. That's kind of like, I did this. I'm really stoked, and I can smell it, I can taste it, I can feel it. And I mean, I know Meg keeps a lot of her stuff, Trevor keeps a lot of his stuff, and I keep my stuff, and I have it up in my apartment because it's not because I'm like, oh, look what I did, it's amazing. It's because I like this piece because I remember exactly what I was going through and what I was feeling and what I was listening to at that moment, and that means more to me than actually is what is on the image, on the paper.
All my favorite stuff I haven't sold. I've dragged my feet on it, and I have it all in a flat file in the storage
I put a sale tag on it, but I keep that motherfucker.
You put like $1 million on it.
But you're so right. You can look at a line and be like, I remember 2 years ago making that, and this song was on, and then somebody said this, and this is what I was feeling in my life.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just like how musicians
I'm
feel
okay.
everybody else, you know?
Yeah. I just like to trade my art with my friends so I can visit it.
They're like your children.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Anything else? Let's mention the shows again one more time while we wrap up here. So we got the Guthrie on the 15th.
So we have, this is who is going to be at the Gallery Stroll on February 15th.
Let's talk about
now we're a little bit more organized. The artists we have 14 artists that are going to be there for Gallery Stroll at the Guthrie, which is located at 150 East, 200 South. Dusk is going to be there.
Dusk Raps.
Yes.
I'm gonna try. I'm supposed to bring him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's awesome. Ryan's a super nice guy.
I only ever met him on Instagram, so I'm
you met him on Instagram. Anyway, sorry, we can't. Yeah.
No, you're fine. So. Meg to my right. Skylar Schubach. I don't know how. I don't want to bruise his name. James Silva is a new addition. He does a lot of stuff in just Sharpie. He's amazing. You should look him up. He's really good. Nice guy.
He had a show at Copper Palette early summer.
Yeah, he's cool. Trevor over here. Tommy Dolph, Trent Call, Ricky Vigil, Mike Murdoch, Sri Whipple, the Oyster Pirates, which Sri and Christian Michael are part of, and Jason Wheatley. Nikki Angle, myself, and Robin Banks will be.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be an all-star cast.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good
show.
one.
Can I plug like some of my own shit?
Let's do it. let's do it.
I was like, I was just standing by to stand.
Plug away. That's why you're here,
Tyler
man.
Densley and myself have a zine called TJD2 we're real proud of.
Wait a minute. Tyler, he's an old friend of mine.
Yeah, there was a joke. You guys have known each other forever, I guess. But
so he knew you were coming to talk to me.
He told me to.
We met up with him before.
Some nickname or something, but I'd like to. Tyler promotes himself well enough.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make this about Tyler. I wanted to make this about Trevor.
You should have brought him along.
We tried, but he's going to Philadelphia for a tattoo convention, and he's busy printing at Copper Palette Press. But this is the zine that we just did, and we still have a few copies left.
Did he tell you about the zine I did years ago?
No.
Yeah, I did a zine years ago.
What was the name of this?
It was of the it was of the straight edge genre. Back in my go on. No, well, yeah, just of my old hardcore music days. It was just like vegan, straight edge stuff, you know. Wasn't really artistic.
Yeah, Tyler was in the
Mostly
band.
anger.
Yeah.
But you know,
We love
they
animals,
promote
but we'll beat the
themselves
shit out of
well
you.
enough to-
Yeah. Well, no, I was vegan for many
I'm-
years.
I'll tell you about a show that I'm going to do
excellent.
pretty soon if you want. I'm
Let-
having a
yeah.
show called Yard Sale
Awesome.
And when is this?
I love that album.
soon.
Soon. Okay.
It's going to be kind of like the whole concept is like how yard sales just pop up and then there's like fluorescent posters that have an arrow. And so it'll be a Friday night or something, but a few days before I'll promote it very well on social media at Trevor J. Dopp on Twitter and Instagram. But no, shout out to Brian Taylor, shout out to Lil Swayze, shout out to John Andrews, shout out to Tyler Densley or TJD2, all that. And
Dr. Tyler Densley. He's a dentist, isn't
yeah,
he? Yeah.
he gave it all up
Oh,
because
he
he
gave it
likes
up.
art.
Yeah.
You know, he's Dr. Dermal Science now.
Yeah.
Shout out to At Cathedral Tattoos. Shout out to Este Pizza. Shout out to At Feist Gallery. I like rap, so I like to shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom and my dad and Miley Cyrus.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Is she your biggest inspiration?
No, he's my cat.
Speaking of social media, do you guys all, I mean, is there like anywhere that people listening can go?
Yeah,
do you have
I'm
like
I'm,
website or a
I'm-
public?
Instagram at Cybertooth Cat, which my full nickname is Cybertooth Cat. Oh, excuse me. Megatarian the Cybertooth Cat 10,000 BC, 1 decamillennium BC. Shout out Brett Jones.
Wait, I didn't catch all of that.
I don't think any of us.
It's Megantarian the Cybertooth Cat 10,000 BC, 1 decamillennium BC.
That's your Instagram name?
No, that's my nickname.
Oh,
Thank
It's her
you
street
again,
name.
Brett Jones. My Instagram is at Cybertooth Cat.
cyber. Just because I try to put it all in some
Rheanna
show
D,
notes.
Right.
Rheanna
You know,
D.
that way
Mine's pretty
people
simple.
can,
Yeah.
get in touch. And
Yeah.
are you guys are all three on Twitter or no?
No,
Yeah,
I'm not.
well, just
You need to
Yeah,
get
we
are you on
I
Twitter?
can't. I'm doing pretty well with the Instagram. I mean, that's kind of a stretch for me. I don't really do Facebook. I mean, I'm on it. You can message me. It's just my name, Megan Charlier or Meg Charlier.
You don't have like a fan page or anything
No,
like that.
no. I'm a shut-in. I'm
She
like
probably
I'm a
does. She
crazy
just
person.
doesn't know the name.
I work. I
started one,
Work
she doesn't
3
know the name
jobs.
of it yet.
I'm a weirdo. So just Instagram mostly, or you just get a hold of me personally. And I don't know. This town is small. You can track me down.
It really
We're all friends with some of our friends.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. I mean, just even Tyler Densley, how you mentioned. I mean, I've known that kid since he was like 13 years old. So it's
That's what he said, man. Something about no rules or
no rules,
unruly,
unjust.
Chris Unjust.
Chris Unjust. That was my zine.
That was what he said to ask you about.
Yeah, that was my zine, and I did a record label under that name and the whole 9 yards many moons ago. And funny, interesting. So, anything else you want to add before? What about you guys? You guys, anything else you want to plug? Any shows coming up that
No.
a little personal?
We do have.
Oh, we do.
We do have one
we
coming
do.
up.
Right.
Besides the
pretty good.
Guthrie and
Yeah.
besides the
We're,
Metro and
we're-
besides
we're actually doing a photo project together, and it's Bitches and Hoes.
Bitches and Hoes.
But it's
Is
mostly
Not
about our
H-O-E-S.
love. Yeah, it's mostly about our love of pantyhose.
That kind of hose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're
So-
doing. Yeah, we are in the process of doing. Speaking of what we were talking about earlier before you turned on the mics.
Oh, I've got another thing to plug, but let's plug this first.
We were talking about like social media and different things, and we want to do everything like on an iPhone with filters and do everything like that, just solely that, because we just think that like I said, like anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff I post on Instagram is pretty much me naked and hose, and so
Yeah, it's
far it's a
gonna
pretty
be-
interesting
yeah,
response.
it's gonna be
and
fun.
It's gonna be. We
Yeah.
plan on doing at least 100, maybe more. I don't know. Photos, depending on. How
Wait,
pricey
you
it
post
gets.
naked pictures of yourself on Instagram?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Not
It's-
super racy, but
No, it's like more technical and more pretty than just
nothing. That
What's your
get
Instagram?
You flagged.
I'm
Wait, I do have a website.
Hers is at Rheanna Day.
I was trying to.
Oh no, write it down. I see your pen out. I also want to plug. This isn't happening till Halloween. This Halloween, Vile Blue Shades, the band I'm in, is getting back together. I just want to pre-plug that. We're all super nervous because we're all a little rusty, but that's gonna happen at Halloween at the Urban Lounge. So
what do you play?
I play my I dance.
I play my body.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be in my underwear on stage live while a bunch of 11 other dudes are gonna be playing some ripping awesome music. Anyone who knows Vile knows what it is. So it should be really fun.
Interesting.
It should be fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's not for me.
Maybe this year we should coin it the term of the naked.
Yeah. Right.
Partially.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We're all in our 30s. It's time to
pretty acceptable.
Time to show the young girls what the big girls do. So,
I love it. Well, I've learned a lot tonight.
Rick Ross used to be a correctional officer.
The what now?
Rick Ross.
That's
used
right.
To be
He did.
A cop.
It's true. Not even a cop.
Correctional officer.
Correction. Yeah, that's even
And the
worse.
real freeway, Rick Ross is suing him.
I know he is. I
Identity
know.
theft
It's
from
so
prison
great.
because he was a real gangster.
That's right. So on that note,
That was just...
Awesome.
All right.
Well, everybody go to the Guthrie on the 15th.
yes, do.
That's
And go to Copper Palette while you're there because it's just down the alley.
Yeah, go out back.
I used to go to shows there years ago. The Moroccan.
I know they're Moroccan.
They don't have shows there anymore. Do they?
No, it's an overpriced urban loft now.
Yeah.
But they
no, the
can't keep the
Moroccans no
neighbors because
more.
we keep pretty.
Yeah.
We're on the
It's
ground
not very
over
many
at Copper
people who know the
Palette.
Moroccan. That was a good place. Ether, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably plug the garage on Beck on
Oh, yeah.
February 23rd.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
You mentioned that at the beginning, but we didn't
Yeah.
mention it now. So people that are still with us
For-
that haven't turned this off, this off yet.
Yeah, we're doing a
Yeah.
thing for Artists for Local Agriculture.
And I want to
February
get all these. I want to
23rd.
get all these links so I can post it on the I Am Salt Lake page. So then people
Yeah.
that are can easily just get access.
Yeah,
to this.
AFA Revolution, I think, is what it's under, and you can Google it. It'll take you right to the site.
Okay.
At least that's how I found
Okay.
it.
Actually, that's not the first hit because I tried looking it up.
Try Googling AFLA Revolution Salt Lake City
Yeah, then you
Rose
get there.
Park area. I don't know.
The Googling AFLA just gets you a different acronym,
Okay.
which is Automotive Fleet and Leasing Association.
Is it with Revolution next to it?
No.
Okay,
Just
well then there you
AFLA.
go. We should be good then.
Alaskans
February-
for Language Acquisition.
Trevor, would
I'm
you
really
like
sick of
to?
your antagonistic
I need to bring you. I need to bring you on the.
wish
I need to bring you on the podcast more often. And,
I mean,
we
it
can just
turns
hang.
out
We can just hang
the
out.
microphone's not that intimidating.
You like big black things in your face.
We can.
And the weed hat helps.
Yeah, the weed had help.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And were you finished? Was there more that you wanted to say?
Yeah,
Rheanna?
February 21st, they're also having a fundraiser for Artists for Local Agriculture
At the Metro.
At the Metro.
So get out and support local art, and even
Yeah.
if you just buy something little, it helps
Buy
these
one
guys
of my
out.
roosters. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Anything else before I hit the stop button?
Shout out to George Norrie.
Oh God.
Oh man. Hey, thank you so much, Meg, Rheanna, and Trevor, for sitting down and sharing what it is like to be an artist here in Salt Lake City, as well as sharing some information about AFLA and the Guthrie Gallery. I suggest you go to iamsaltlake.com, episode 42. Click on those notes of the show. That way you can get in touch with them on Facebook and, like they mentioned, Instagram and all of that fun stuff. I'm going to try to get all those online. That way you could check them out and support your local art. I mean, these guys are some creative individuals, and they're doing a lot to make Salt Lake City just a little bit better. I'm going to end it with a song here from a local band called Laughing at Columbus. They sent me some MP3s. The name of this song is called A Sweeter Tune. I really thought it was a fun song. Maybe I can get them on a future episode of the podcast. But before I play the song, I want to play a promo from another local podcast called Taxi Squad Show. It's a new local Utah podcast all about sports. So anyways, I'm going to be back on Wednesday with a brand new episode, a brand new show, showing off a different side of Salt Lake City. So anyways, you guys have a great night. Thanks for listening to the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
In a land where no decent sports podcasts have existed, 3 Salt Lake City-based sports fans tackle the week's top stories. Join us Sunday. Available for download on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and on TaxiSquadShow.com. Do it! I'm not old enough to be quoting Bear. Sometimes it rolls off the tongue so well. On the easiest streets of San Francisco, around midnight, the street kids threatened by the bank machine. Should I hold a hand? Do I walk too fast? Swear to God, the hotel's down that street. Cotton floats in the air, thoughts are off the wind. She's got her wayfarers on, the sun hasn't touched her skin. She's got her wayfarers on, she doesn't need my attention. She's got her wayfarers on. On my nerves, take a drive for the north, to walk in the redwoods. And she picks wild raspberries of the deepest maroon, 'cause the deeper the heartache, the sweeter the tune. Summer comes late, settles down in the bay. Might be right, but I don't wanna say it. There's a party, I changed my mind on the way. And she takes a cab all alone on her way to